Problem 17. Freddy sketched an array to represent a multiplication problem, as shown. So here's his array. Sometimes we use arrays to show multiplication problems. And when we use arrays, sometimes people get confused about what numbers we're multiplying, but it really isn't too difficult to figure out the numbers. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to number all of these little squares that we have here. I'm going to start in the corner. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So one of the numbers that I'm using is 18. Now I'm going to count the side. So I counted the top row. Now I'm going to count the side row. Again, I'm going to start in that corner because it already has a number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the other number I have is 6. 18 times 6. That's what they're doing. And they want me to solve a problem for them. What is 6 times 8? Jaylene, what's 6 times 8?
I wasn't raising my hand.
48.
Okay. Then I have 6 times 1. What is 6 times 1? What would I get multiplying 6 times 1? Jada.
6.
6. Jada, I also carried over a 4. So what's 6 plus 4?
10.
10. Very good. So my answer is 108. And they want me to put it into this grid. We saw something like this the other day. Remember, we will work with decimals later in the year, but for now, we haven't seen them, we haven't looked at them, we haven't worked with them. My answer doesn't have a decimal. There's no period here. So I'm not going to use any of the space behind the period. I'm just going to use the spaces in front. 1 in the hundreds place, 0 in the tens place, 8 in the ones place. I'm going to bubble in the bubbles that match my digits. 1 in the hundreds place, 0 in the tens place, 8 in the ones place. Yes, Kylie.
I didn't really get this one.
This one's just multiplication. The array is just there to show the numbers. All you have to do to figure out what numbers to use is count the little squares. So if I count the little squares going sideways, going horizontally, I find 18. And I like to actually write the numbers in there just to double check that I didn't make a mistake. Then you count the
I meant the
numbers.
other one.
You count the numbers going up and
I
down.
meant,
Oh, you mean 16.
yeah.
16 is just multiplication too. The only thing they did there is instead of doing the multiplication like we did down here, they split it into two parts. That's it. So instead of doing 47 times 7 all in one piece, they did 40 times 7. They did 7 times 7. And then they added it together. So that's all it is. It's just multiplication. They're just splitting it up into different steps. But really, if it's something like this, 47 times 7, you can do it this way, and it's no problem. So you don't have to use this way of multiplying a 2-digit number and a 1-digit number. You can just multiply it the other way. Number 18. Which geometric term best describes a figure formed by, ooh, I like these, two rays with the same vertex? So remember, a ray has an endpoint, and the other side goes on and on forever. Again, I usually think of those guns they have in Star Wars. Pew, pew, pew. And the laser just goes pew, and it shoots out forever and ever until it hits a wall or something. But this one says that there's two rays, so not just one, two, and they have the same. Nakai, make sure that you have your microphone off. It says that these two rays have the same vertex. Vertex was another name for corner. So there's two rays, but they share the same corner. This is what they're asking about. What do we call this? What do we call two rays that have the same corner? Jaylene, what do we call this? We've got some choices. Is this a triangle, Jaylene?
Yeah.
So this is a triangle?
No.
No. A triangle has to have how many sides?
3.
Has to have 3. This only has 2. A triangle normally looks something like this. That's not what we're looking at.
It's an angle.
It's an angle. You're right. So it's not a triangle.
It's acute.
In this case, you're right. It would be an acute angle. A polygon. A polygon is a name in math for any shape that has more than 2 sides and no openings. So a polygon could be a triangle, it could be a square, it could be a pentagon, it could be some kind of crazy shape. A polygon is anything that has more than 2 sides and no openings. And a line segment has to have 2 endpoints. One on one side, one on the other. If you guys have ever seen that movie Big Hero 6, you know what that big robot, Baymax? Line segments look like Baymax's face. So line segment, think about Baymax. That's not a line segment though. That does not look like Baymax's face. So my answer is H. It's an angle.